Hello, welcome to the West Ham Grumble here on West Ham Network. So, another week has passed and we finally got a result as we went up to the Midlands to face Aston Villa. But before that, we went off to Denmark and we came away victorious, didn't we? We're into the Europa Conference proper. The draw has been made and a decent result up there. But let's face it, we were going into it on a 3-1 lead anyway. And I thought we were a bit slow start, a bit disjointed, but I think we found our feet and, decent goals. I love the Skamaka goal as well. I think he's really finding his feet, especially in Europe so far. And at the weekend against Villa, I think he had a few touches, he had a few nice little movements, little sort of passes off, and he was holding up the ball, getting the ball in, and showed good feet from time to time. But I think he was largely ineffective because I think there was a lack of service to him, or quality service. And I think this is where we are going to have to step up. I think Villa were poor as well, but I don't think just because we've won, that's it, we're off and running, as West Ham would the club would have us believe. Look, David Moyes, I think there's been a bit of backtracking here, a bit of backpedaling here from Moyes and also some of the players as well. Possibly, I don't know, but maybe there's a realisation that they really have started slow, and us fans have been justified in not necessarily the fact that we've been losing, but it's the manner in which we've been losing. And so, first of all, Moyes was getting pissed off, angry, irate, let's say, in his own way, that West Ham fans were booing or not very happy at the Brighton game, especially. And he wasn't happy with that. But then again, when we played Viborg in midweek, he was kind of backtracking a bit. He was saying, yeah, we've upped our performance, we've upped our work rate a little bit, just to show the fans that we are there. So I think there's a bit of acknowledgement that they weren't quite at the races, not only in terms of performance, but also quality, tactically. But, just that kind of, not necessarily effort, but more that, that being ready for the games. And yes, we've been hit with injuries. Aguerd in the back has really unsettled us, but I think, we've got these new signings coming in now. Big news for West Ham, isn't it? Big news. We've made big signings. We've broken the bank, as it were. We've just we bought in Skabaka, Aguerd, Cornet, Downs. Obviously, who knows what's going to happen with Downs? Actually, whether he's going to even get a go. I mean, people are saying that he's not showing it in training, but who knows? I really don't know. Obviously, Paqueta's just come on, for over 50 million or whatever it is. Long-term signing, so the board, David Moyes, I think this is more of a David Moyes thing. He's really shown us, and what he said right at the start of the season was like, we need to replace our players or get better players in to take us on to the next level. The problem is, our journey onto the next level hasn't really started yet, because we need to wait until these players bed in. We need to wait until they're finding the passes, seeing the game early. And that's where we're at, really. Yes, we got the result against Villa, but we've got some tough games coming up. So I don't think we'll be lucky to get many points in the next few games. This is the old pessimist in me as well, of course. But what I did notice against Villa, and I've said this time and time again, right, is when we are coming out of defence or coming out of the left back or the right back position. For me, sometimes those are crucial plays, crucial decisions, because we're moving the ball forward. Let's say Krez is coming up the left-hand side. And instead of the last couple of years where we've got quite a lot of success, really, on the left and the right hand side by going down the wings a little bit and putting crosses in and everything. But I've always said during that time as well, what they should be doing is coming up from the left back, right back position and looking for an early diagonal ball, an early cross into the box, into a forward line where either one of our strikers, Antonio Scamacca, let's say, could be running onto the ball, or a long diagonal pass over the top where Bowen could be coming in off the right-hand side and then just scoot it in. This is probably one of the first times where I've seen Creswell attempt to do it multiple times in a game. And I'm not saying 20, 30 times like that, but it's the first time I've seen it in a long time where he's tried to do it early on, just passing the halfway line or just approaching the halfway line and trying to put a longer diagonal cross into the box. And I think we need to do a lot more of that. We need to mix it up, of course. But if we're constantly just trying to go down the line, this is what we've been doing the first few games, and we were certainly doing it last season. We were trying to go down the line, almost like we get to the corner flag, we come back, we pass it back, then there'll be an interchange of passes on the left-hand side, which eventually would come to nothing. The same time, this kind of interchange of passes would allow their defence, the opposition defence, to reset. So we'd never get any joy. A cross would come in, it'd be easy defended, or we'd lose the ball. This is when we could retain possession. The last few games, and certainly last season as well, towards the end, we were losing possession too early. So this has caused, this lack of form, or this dip in form. On the right-hand side, Kufal is going up. And bless him, he's a worker, and I love him, for what he brings to the team in terms of work rate, in terms of energy and drive and honesty. I love Kufal's honesty in the way he plays. But sometimes you're thinking the quality isn't quite there from you. Quite a few times in the games against Villa, and he's done it numerous times as well. An attempted cross isn't poor quality, a pass down the line into no man's land. So quite a few times you'd be coming up in that right back position, bombing up or getting the ball past the halfway line, and then he'd pass it forward down the line to Bowen, who was already marked by 2 or 3 players. A poor pass. You're passing to another player, but you're giving him no option. He can only come back to you, or he's going to lose possession, and that's pretty much what was happening. Instead of trying to hit an early diagonal pass, as I was saying, like with Creswell, or trying to come back infield, but this relies on the movement of the other players, Souček, and Rice and the like in midfield, or Skamaka, Antonio, whoever it is, dropping in, Fornals coming in, Ben Rama, whatever it is. They have to be moving around. There has to be a lot more movement. So I think after the game, there was an improvement. First half, it was the same old. I think a lot of the fans were thinking, oh, here we go. But second half, we came out. Tactical change from Moyes. He changed it up. He changed the formation, and we played a lot better. And we played like we were wanting to not only entertain but to create chances, and good chances. And I think that's where we're at now. If where the season has started, or we're saying that the season has started now, it was from half-time against Villa. That's when our season started, and we think, right, okay, we put a decent performance in there, and we came away with a win. Look, they had a couple of chances as well, but I don't think they were that great. Villa, this is, and West Ham came away with a win. And the last sort of 7 or 8 minutes, it wasn't great either. They were putting us under pressure as well, but we withstood it. And I think the players have come out afterwards and acknowledged. This is what I'm saying. They've acknowledged that their work rate and the way they were playing the game. And their quality in possession and passes and going forward and finding early passes and movement just wasn't there in the first 3 games. And I think they've acknowledged it. Like Rice has come out and said, we've really stepped it up and we've made extra effort. So I think that's great. This allows us to build now, or Moyes to build this new team with all these new players, to bring in this new energy and this new quality to find early passes. Emerson, I thought, looked halfway decent. Again, can't expect too much from a first game. I was almost surprised that he played him, actually, because he literally just signed. But, halfway decent. I think once Moyes really figures out where these new players are going to fit in and who they're going to replace, does Emerson replace Creswell? Does he play Emerson in a different role? Does Cres play a different role? What about when we're full strength defence? So there's going to be lots of chops and changes and positional movements here, I think, from Moyes. But I think, he was pleased with the second half, as we all were, but I think you could see the signs there in the first half that we're not quite there yet. Well, we're certainly not there yet. So there's a lot to do yet. There's a lot to do for West Ham, and we've got some tough games going in. But look, it's good. It's great. Don't get me wrong. This is great that we are making these massive signings, and we just hope that these players can deliver, and then that Moyes can steer the ship and make the tactical changes when he can and when he needs to, and make the subs when he needs to. And then these subs coming on are going to be, you know, influential, because if they're not, we are really going to struggle. As you know, as with any team, we'll always really struggle if they don't make the right changes, or the players don't act in the way that they should be acting, or performing in the way that they should be performing anyway. But listen, tough game coming up against Spurs, let's say, well, let's see how we get on. Hopefully we can get a few points, but if the intent of the manager to bring in quality players, and the arrival of these quality players, is anything to go by, then hopefully there shouldn't be too many West Ham grumbles this season, should there? But I've got a feeling that, you know, we can slip up from time to time, and we just got to watch that. We can't be too impatient to start getting all these players in and performing. I think it's still going to take a while for them to bed in, and I think, you know, once we get quality service to the likes of Scamacca, and for Antonio to be running onto, you know, that, I mean, you know, there's a whole host of questions here. Is Antonio now you know, a sub? You know, what about Ben Rama? What about Lanzini? What about Krez? You know, Souček and Rice, you know, they need to step it up still. Yeah, Rice, I thought, stepped it up a little bit. I think Souček's still, you know, all over the place a little bit. You know, does Paqueta come in? Is he going to be, you know, ahead of Souček and Rice in positionally, or is he going to, you know, go play alongside Rice a little bit? You know, is he going to be a little bit more forward? How does that affect the rest of the formation of the players? We'll see. We'll soon see. But look, decent result. 2 decent results. 2 wins. Great. Look, what's there to moan about? Two wins. 2 decent performances. Second half against Villa was a very decent performance. We should be beating Viborg anyway. So, you know, let's not, you know, that's no disrespect to them, but there should be a quality difference anyway. So we struggled through those. I would say, well, not struggled, but we didn't play fantastic, but we got the result, and that's all that matters. Villa, I thought second half we played a lot better, so we deserved on that point alone. But, you know, we've still got a lot of learning to do. There's still a lot of learning to do, and there's still a lot of glue to be added to this unit anyway. Listen, that's the West Ham grumble for this week. Not all grumbles, but not all sunshine either. Still a long way to go, but hopefully Moyes has got a grip of it now, and he's showing us what he's made of. But he's also acknowledging, I think the players are acknowledging, that, you know, we were justified as fans to be not very happy with the way. And also, let's face it, we've kind of raised our expectations a little bit. But we're raising our expectations not on results, I don't believe, but we're raising them on performance. And personally, I don't really mind. Well, I do mind, of course, but I'm not so bitter if we lose, but our performance is still high. You know, it's still great. So if we're unlucky, whatever, you know, but if our performance is there, I'm a happy bunny. But if our performance is low, even win, lose or draw, I'm not really that happy. But, you know, if our performance is low, but we win, that kind of upsets my grumpiness, let's say, my grumbles. But if we lose or we draw, but certainly if we lose and our performance is low, that's where I'm not having it. And I think that's what we had for the first 3 games. But we've turned a corner. Let's see how far we can go. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell, like and share, and check out the West Ham Network for all the videos and all the people on there right now. Catch you again. Ta-ra.